Hey guys, this is Aaron again at Max Machine Works. Welcome back. Today we're going to go over all the other components that go in the upper of the Bravo style drive, and we're going to start with the U-joint assemblies. These are all the different U-joint assemblies that are available. We're going to start, this is the regular early, with the small U-joint and the small input yoke shaft for the regular Bravo or early X. Small input hole in the pinion gear. This is the late style regular U-joint assembly. Still small input yoke, a little bit different U-joint outside clip versus inside clip. This is the early XR, big U-joint assembly with the bigger 1.25 inch input yoke for the X or the XR style. So you got a little bit more material right here. This is the late style XR. A little bit more webbed out, you know, still the big input yoke, a little bit different U-joint, good assembly. Now they also have, for the ITS setup, they have the long input yoke into the engine coupler. Now this assembly, the early XR, they only offer the U-joints now. They don't offer the yoke, either yoke. So what we did is we made an aftermarket yoke, billet, that so if you have this assembly, you don't have to buy the whole U-joint assembly. You can just change out one of the shafts if you have a problem with one of the shafts. We also offer the ITS for that early XR big U-joint style. So if you have the ITS assembly, you can, you know, replace that shaft. Another thing we did was for the guys that have the regular assembly, we made a short yoke that fits the small U-joint but has the big input shaft, so you can, if you have a regular one and you want to upgrade to the bigger gear, bigger hole gear, you can run this U-joint on your assembly instead of having to change the whole assembly. Hey guys, so now we're going to go over all the different gear sets that are available. We're going to start with the regular one. This is a Bravo regular set, helical teeth, small inch input hole. This is your drive gear or pinion gear in the upper. Goes onto the yoke like that. This is your X set. Bigger input hole so you can run the bigger U-joint assembly with the bigger yoke. This is your straight cut, near net forged XR set. Bigger teeth and big hole for the big yoke. This is the same gear with your bearings. Plugs on like that. That's in the snout of your upper case. These are your driven gears. The driven gears sit down in the case, and I'm just going to give you an example of what your stack looks like. So you got your clutch shaft. You got your forward on a right hand, it would be reverse on a left hand. And you got your clutch, which spirals up and down on the shaft, locking it into gear. There's forward, up is reverse. This sits on here like that. Your driven comes in like that. That's your upper gear stack that goes in the case, riding around the tower in the upper case. All right, so now we're going to show you how the gears go in the case, just so you're familiar with how everything goes in the case. So this is your driven gear. And we discussed the difference in towers on one of the other episodes. Your driven gear rides down in the case and spins around that tower. That's why that tower is so important, because that's what's supporting your gear. Then you have your pinion gear, which goes on the U-joint assembly. That goes into the case and meshes with the other two gears. Okay, so I showed you guys the pinion gear and how it goes in the case and meshes with the driven gears. I wanted to show you the pinion gear with the same gear with the bearing stack on it. That's why we're so big on the thick snout style case, because that's what's holding, these threads are holding your gear in there. And the more material you have here to hold that pinion gear in there, the less likely it is to blow that off.